And hello, wherever you are across the world, whether you're in the UK, in America, in Europe, in Asia, whatever time of day it is, I welcome you to Radio Works, our Thursday special of we're talking tonight about creating your life. Now, how powerful is that? And I hope lots of you are sending in lots of questions about how you can create your life, because it's a really powerful and interesting way of looking at life, because we can look at it from the negative and we can look at it from the positive. And sometimes when things aren't good, when we feel that life isn't what we planned and what we wanted, we find that it's very difficult to be positive. So how do we do it? How do we start being positive? And it's all very well for me to say every week, well, you've got to look in the mirror and say hello, darling, and you've got to wake up with this positive attitude. But if life isn't good for you at the moment, you might find that a bit difficult. So what I want to do is talk to you about baby steps, about how you can change your thinking just a little at a time, because I've been there, I know what it's like, and I know how difficult it can be when you're stuck in a situation. And we've often talked about the comfort zone and how easy it is, and sometimes we're with people who are not supportive of us. I mean, they mean well, they love us, but they have their own agenda, and so it's not quite easy for us to stand up and say, this is what I want in my life, without rocking the boat, without making life very uncomfortable for other people. And maybe you're concerned that it might make you uncomfortable as well. So as I say, it's got to be baby steps. And the way to do it is to start off by thinking about who you are and what you really want in your life. And that sounds huge, I know, and sometimes it can be really, really difficult, but you have to start off in this little space and just having a little bit of me time, having a little bit of space to yourself, and sitting down with a notebook and just writing down and saying, what do I really want to do? Do I want to stay in this job? Do I want to stay in this home? What do I want to do with my life? And it doesn't matter whether you're 18 or 80, you can change it. You can change it. And I know it's scary, but we are here for you. Honestly, we are. And we'll help you every step of the way. So the first thing you've got to do is know what you want. Because after all, if you're going somewhere and you're in a car and you have a destination in mind, you can put the address in your sat nav and you can start listening to the voice and you can off you go. But if you get in the car and you just think, I want to go somewhere, and you don't know where it is, it's a bit difficult for the sat nav to sort of direct you there. And it's the same with life. If you don't know where you're going, what your the end result is, or what your goal is, then it's very difficult to start, because you don't know you know where you're starting from, but you don't know how you're going to get there. So the first thing you have to do is really be very, very honest with yourself and say, what's working in my life? Because I'm sure there's lots of stuff that is working in your life. And you also have to be grateful for the stuff that is working in your life. Maybe it's just a simple thing about having, a roof over your head. Maybe it's, that you've got enough money to buy food and put food on the table, that you're able to clothe yourself and your children, or just that you've got loving people around you. There's always something to be grateful for, even if it's just waking up in the morning and saying, I'm here to fight another day. Even that's something to be grateful for, because the universe is a very abundant place, and it's only when we realize how abundant it is that we can start reaping the rewards. When we believe in lack, and not enough to go round, then that's what we get more of, unfortunately. And that's how, that's how it works. So we have to start off by saying, first thing in the morning when you wake up, I'm grateful for my bed. I had a phenomenal but very tiring week last week, and I was exhausted. I was so tired when I got home on Sunday evening, and I have been sleeping very, very well this week. But when I wake up in the morning, I am so grateful. I have the most amazing bed, and I love my bed. And I just, when I wake up in the morning, I go, thank you for a wonderful night's sleep, because I am sleeping so, so well. Because believe me, I had this wonderful week last week, but I was in 3 different hotels, and the middle one was okay, but the one from Friday night and Saturday night, it was a lovely hotel, but the bed wasn't that comfortable, so I didn't sleep that well. So having a good night's sleep is just something to be so grateful for. Waking up and pulling back the curtains and seeing the sunshine. Oh my God. It was, I don't know where you are, but in London today, the sun was shining, the sky was deep, deep blue. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It wasn't hot, it wasn't even warm, but it was really lovely to look at, and it was lovely to be out in. And so that's something to be very grateful for. No more grey days, well, we hope. So just getting gratitude for just the little things. They say, be grateful for the small things, and the big things will take care of themselves. And that's what you need to be doing to hold this this light inside you. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, about the golden you. And it is when you start realizing what you have got to offer, when you're writing your list about what you really want, this is what you should be doing. You should be writing, what am I really good at? I can write, I can tell stories, I can sing, I can dance, I can make people laugh, I'm an amazing cook, I'm a good driver, I'm good at organizing, I'm great at math, whatever your thing is. And I'm sure there's lots and lots of things you are really, really good at. Write it down. How could you make that into a career? How could writing help you? How could being good at maths, how could being a good driver help you? How could teaching help you? Whatever you're really good at, just think of how could cooking help you. I know somebody who turned a hobby of making the most amazing cakes into a business, and she's now making lots of cakes, like wedding cakes and birthday cakes to order, which gives her the free time to stay at home and look after her little boy, who's like 2 years old now. So you can see how you just have to think out of the box, even just a little bit. And there's so many people doing this now, just thinking, oh, well, I'm good at this. I don't have to work for somebody else. If your job is horrible, don't do it. We spend so much of our lives at work, and you've got to enjoy what you do. You've got to enjoy the people that you're with. And it's not enough to say, well, I'm getting a good salary and that's just enough for me. It isn't, because your soul is dying. And that's no way to live, because basically you're earning lots of money, which means that you'll go out at the weekend and you'll buy more clothes to wear for this office or wherever it is you work, and pay your bills. Life isn't meant to be like that. Life isn't meant to be all work and paying bills. There's so much more. Travel, see the world. There's so much to do out there, and it's so exciting. And you need to get this feeling of excitement inside you. And it starts off by waking up in the morning and saying, today is going to be a wonderful day, and I am choosing to make it so. I'm going to choose how my life is from this moment on. I'm going to do what I want to do. So, okay, so you've got a job, you quite like it, and you think, okay, I could do with earning some more money. All right. So how could you be of benefit to your company? Think about all the ways, all the different things you could do to make their profits better, to make their lives better. If you're a manager, how could you make your team's life better? What could you do? What could you give? And it's not just a case of being there 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or whatever your hours are, but really think about how you can do this, how you can make it so much better. Because do you know what? You're making it better for other people, you're making it better for yourself. Because somebody at the top will notice and go, oh my God, look how well they've done. Look how well that team's doing. And it's all down to blah, blah, because she or he have really taken the reins and they're really motivating people, and they're doing, silly little things like, I don't know, birthdays and deciding what to buy people for their birthday, or whatever it is, some sort of, if you've got a team of, say, a dozen people, maybe half a dozen people, and it's somebody's birthday, buy them something really, really interesting. I know a company where they do that, and the managing director is a mad chocoholic. He adores his chocolate. So and it's a technical company. So last year they bought him two things. They bought him a bell which says ring for chocolate, and a chocolate keyboard, because it's a technical company, and he loved it, absolutely loved it. And that, and it's making fun of your day, it's making your day enjoyable. Phone a friend. When was the last time you picked up the phone? Not texted. Don't text. Pick up a phone and actually speak to somebody. Speaking is the most amazing thing. This thing that I was on last week, this program, was a full-on thing where I was talking for, well, it started at 9 o'clock in the morning and we finished at 10 o'clock at night. And it was and
that's a full day.
It was a very, very full day, and that was 6 days of that, and it was incredible, absolutely amazing. And there were other people. I wasn't the only one talking, obviously, because then it would have been really tiring. But it was so much fun. Talking is just, and when you meet people for the first time, and you hear their stories, people are so interesting. And when you show an interest in people, then your life becomes better. It becomes enriched with knowing more people, with having, better things go on in your life, all sorts of things. So there is a great big world out there. And, your limitations are only limited by what your mind can conceive of.
We used to say, Adrienne, at our new branch at the Hotel Alternative, which is called Beyond VIP, that the only limit is your imagination. So it's all about, like you said, creating better life choices. And what scares me is that, in my own experience, is that for a very long time, I did not realize I do have choices. I was just coping with circumstances, as our listener would perhaps agree with me. Nobody can change their circumstances, but the one thing you can do, and that's free and that's available to every single one of us, you can change your thoughts. So once you change your thoughts, you are listening to a new story, to a more exciting appeal. Life gets better, and it's everything, like Daniel Serpico, our mindfulness coach from your mind coach from Ireland, is keep saying, everything happens twice. First in your mind. So it's more or less like obesity. So obesity is not a symptom of poverty. It's not because people are just eating and not exercising. It's because they are getting sugar, fat, calories, empty calories, and no nutrition. nutrition. So it's the same with life. So if you are not aware of your choices, if you are not aware that you can create your life exactly the same way a master will create their masterpiece, a painter will create a masterpiece which is going to last through time. It's the same way you create your day. But I had this I read this book a couple of weeks ago, and I came across to a sentence that I absolutely loved, and I hope I remember it the right way. It was by Alice Roosevelt, and she said that I have a very simple philosophy in life: fill what's empty, empty what's full, and it's so true. It's mind blowing if you think about. So okay, your car is full, you are crowded in an empty life, and yet it's up to you. It's up to you to make different choices. Up to you to feel what's empty and empty what's full, because your life it's always what you make of it. So if you want to trade an empty life for an open life, or with an open mind, it's a choice. I so love what you just said about choices. I know there are very, very dramatic situations where people absolutely cannot cope with life anymore. They reach a point where maybe on a daily basis or once a week, or it's tough. It's crashing down on you. So how do you cope with that? How do you change that into something you can control, and into something that it's a better way of dealing with life demands? It's how you actually deal with your thoughts. What thought you choose is I was talking to Camilla Christiansen today, and she's a stylist from Norway, and I was imagining this catwalk. Your life is like the catwalk. You can try on new shoes, and why not? Why not? It's your thoughts are so vibrant. They are like the most expensive shoes you can walk in life with. Wear them. Doesn't cost you anything. Unlike expensive shoes, your thoughts, your expensive thoughts are not expensive, are free. But what is expensive is not knowing how to use your thoughts. That's the price you have to pay when you don't know the choices available for yourself out there, and you have to make yourself available to those choices. And I also remember that we talked about creativity and about using the me time to create better life choices. And this blank canvas, this blank page, is not necessarily an empty stage. You can bring in the people you want. You can get rid of the people you don't want. The same way you can bring in the thoughts you want, and you get rid of the thoughts you don't want. So again, making the decision, what is that you want, start with these very small baby steps you mentioned, choosing the right thoughts. Over to you, Adrienne.
Yeah, I've just written that down, Marina. That is so true, because it all starts with choosing the right thought. And people that are, if they're depressed or they're in a bad situation, they think, oh, this happens to me. And I hate to say it, but it doesn't happen to you. You allow it to happen. It's the victim mentality. And it all comes back to the same thing. It's the thoughts you're choosing. If you choose good thoughts, it's like, people might be sitting there listening and going, well, she keeps saying this, but it's not easy. And no, it isn't. It's simple, but it's not easy. But it's like anything that you do. It's like exercising every day. It's like meditating every day. It becomes a habit. It's like cleaning your teeth every morning. If you start doing it and it becomes a habit, you can change your thoughts. It's, it takes time. You can't, it's not going to happen overnight. But when you consciously look at the thoughts, say you're out and about, it's raining, and you just feel really, it's grey, and you feel very down, and you're very unhappy, and you walk along going, oh, poor me, oh, got to work, blah blah blah, and you're thinking all these awful things. If you switch that and go, if you catch yourself thinking it's a horrible day, say to yourself consciously, it's not a horrible day. I choose to make this a lovely day. I choose to make this a really good day. And you can walk along saying to yourself, it's a lovely day today. And no matter whatever I'm going to do, and you can sing to yourself, and you can, sing to yourself. Don't sing out loud, because people will lock you up and take you away.
But the very point, Adrienne, the very point of our great conversations and us meeting other great minds and sharing their story is to inspire people and make them see that actually we're all made of the same essence. It's just how we use that divine essence makes the difference in everyone's life. So, for example, if you were to think, oh, I'm Adrienne Marks, and I'm a very content lady, and that's all. But you are saying, I'm Adrienne Marks, and I am your awareness coach. I'm an award-winning author, and I travel the world. I'm exciting about every single one of you. Come and talk to me. And it's such a big difference in how you choose to use your divine essence. Whatever you are made of is unique anyway. It's just some people will just think, well, I'm not ready. I was begging somebody to who is a brilliant writer, and she got this amazing book which is on Amazon already. It's been there for a while, and nobody knows. And I'm every single month I'm checking for, are you ready for an interview? Are you ready to talk about your amazing book? Are you available? And she keeps saying, no, I'm not ready for this. So why you wrote the book to start with? Who is going to know that you wrote that amazing book which could help so many people? So you see, to me, it's more to do with your attitude than what you have or you don't have. Most people focus on what they don't have, of course, because it's a lot easier. Yeah. But to discover what you already have, it's a, like you said, Adrienne, so many times, it's an inside job.
Absolutely. And the thing is, it's not like, you said, oh, I'm the awareness coach, and I'm this and I'm that. Yeah, I'm all those things, but I'm also, I'm also a person, and I have good days and bad days, and some days I get up and I think I'm going to do, whatever, and things go wrong. I've had a series of technical things this week which drive me insane. And several things have happened, and sort of been blips on my life this week, and I'm like, why did I come back? Oh my God!
But you see, Adrienne, you do pick yourself up. You are not expecting somebody else to do it for you. You know, exactly. You are the only one who can pick yourself up. And exactly. When you feel in pieces, and after you've been crushed by uncontrollable circumstances, whatever they might be, technical, financial, whatever they might be, you put yourself together a better version of yourself. So how else is the progress made? I mean, how else can you, just realize how great you are? How else can you reach out for your greatness unless you are tested? But the question we had from our listeners, since we announced it this morning, is just I was keep adding those questions. I hope you've seen them. Anyway, so the one of the questions which was keep coming was, how do you go on to win again and make it to the winners podium, this time, after you've been crushed?
Okay.
How would you answer that?
Okay, it's what I always say. It's being conscious of what you're thinking of and changing, being conscious and grabbing that thought and thinking, I don't want to think like that. I don't want to be this, this negative, unhappy person. I don't like it. And switching it. I often talk about this switch, and you go, turn it off. I'm not having it. You catch yourself thinking, oh, poor me. It's like, no, switch it.
Takes a second. Takes a second, and it's like we with my students. I'm doing this, funny exercise about smiling. Who smiles harder the shortest time? So how can you switch from crying into smiling and see how powerful it is, even when you are thinking of something terrible, something very dramatic, but you keep smiling, your mind is going to take instructions and orders from your immediate reaction, from your smile. So the smiling will be more powerful than the worst memory you ever had in your life.
Exactly. And it's a physical impossibility. You can't frown and smile at the same time. And I bet all the listeners are now going, oh, she's right.
It's just it's just unless you you choose, like you said, I'm repeating myself, but that's the naked truth. Unless you choose to feel a victim, unless you choose to be miserable, which is not going to help you or anyone else for that matter anyway, you have the other choice. You have the choice to say, okay, that's that. Let's see what I could do right now to make it better.
Yeah, exactly. And actually saying to yourself, okay, well, it's not perfect at the moment, but you know what? This too shall pass.
Hello? Yes, we are back. So we are going to start again. I'm going to count down and I will introduce you again. Okay. And because you're talking about picking yourself up, so so this is part 2. This is so funny. Okay, 3, 2, 1.